I think Adrien Broner has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. I understand he's still young in his career. He has a long way to go, and he has a lot to learn. But this dude is dripping with corn oil, man. He's one of the corniest personalities in boxing history. And what makes it so corny is that he doesn't really have a personality of his own. He kind of just repeats things that Mayweather says. It's almost like he thinks he's Floyd Mayweather. I can't stand listening to Adrien Broner in interviews because it just disturbs me. It kind of irks me a little bit the way that he tries to be Floyd, tries to talk like him, tries to say the same thing, same mannerisms. Like he's thinking in his mind that he's Floyd Mayweather at the moment when he's talking. Like he's imagining being Floyd Mayweather. It's kind of annoying, man. I don't think that he needs to do that. We've seen other guys in boxing history play the villain role or be the trash talker. And they've all had personalities of their own. I mean, you look at Roy Jones, James Toney, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. They all had their own personalities. They all had the same thing in common. They were trash talkers, but they all had their own personality. And that's something that Adrien Broner is lacking, his own personality. It's just annoying watching this dude. And he acts like, this is what annoys me the most. He acts like he has already done so much in boxing and that he's at the point where Floyd Mayweather is, where he can pick and choose and talk trash about other guys as if he has already done so much. Like he's just cleaned out every division and he's been dominating for so many years. He really does talk like this when you listen to him in interviews because I'll give you a couple of examples. I was watching a video. I can't remember who it was from, but he did an interview. I think it might have been the Boxing Voice or one of those guys who go out and do interviews with these boxers. He was asked about Lucas Matisse, and he was rolling his eyes and shit. Like Lucas Matisse ain't shit. And then another interview, somebody brought up Brandon Rios. I've seen a couple of interviews like this where they ask him about Brandon Rios, and he's talking about, I don't know who that is and shit. Just shit like that. It's like you haven't done enough yet to be acting like these guys are beneath you and shit. You really haven't, man. You have a long way to go. And on top of that, all these comparisons with Floyd Mayweather to me are ridiculous because there's really not much similarities between him and Floyd Mayweather. The only thing that's the same between these two is that Adrien Broner just bites Floyd Mayweather's whole style. That's the only thing that they have in common. That he tries to stand in the Philly shell posture like Floyd, and he tries to talk like Floyd, and he tries to be Floyd Mayweather. That's the only thing they have in common. As far as the actual skills in the ring, it's not even a comparison. It's not even close. Because Adrien Broner now, at this age, I think, he's in his early, mid-20s, right? Go back and look at footage of Floyd when he was the same age as Adrien Broner. And you are going to see a huge difference. Adrien Broner fights like the Floyd Mayweather that fought Miguel Cotto. He doesn't fight like the Floyd Mayweather that fought Arturo Gatti or that fought Diego Corrales. He doesn't even fight like the Mayweather that fought Marquez. He fights like the Floyd Mayweather that fought Miguel Cotto. More of a flat-footed type style. I think he comes forward a little bit more, but their styles are really not that similar. Really not. To me, Adrien Broner's footwork is garbage to me. I don't want to say garbage, but it's nothing. If you're comparing it to Floyd Mayweather, then yes, it's garbage compared to Floyd Mayweather. Okay, when Floyd Mayweather was 23, 24 years old, he was jumping all around his opponents, couldn't be found anywhere. Adrien Broner stands in front of his opponents, and it could be because of the level of opposition he's been in there with, where he hasn't really had to move around too much. But I mean, Floyd, when he was younger, he could have stayed flat-footed if he wanted to as well, and had success doing fighting that particular style as well. He didn't really have to move around as much when he was younger if he didn't want to, because we've seen him get caught in some firefights as well, where he was more flat-footed and stayed in the pocket and threw counter shots on the inside, things like that. We've seen Floyd fight like that, but that's the only way that I've really seen Adrien Broner fight. I haven't really seen him show me any tremendous footwork, and he gets hit too much. He really doesn't use the Philly shell defense the same way as Floyd Mayweather. He really doesn't. So the comparisons to me are silly, man. They really are, and I think that if Adrien Broner were to fight Floyd Mayweather, Floyd would mop the floor with him, man. Pretty damn easily. I think that would be an easy matchup for Floyd Mayweather. I honestly do, because if I'm being honest with you, and I'm not hating on Adrien Broner, so I hope that people don't turn this into that. I'm just pointing out some things because he just annoys me, the way that he acts like he's so much above these other fighters who are out here fighting tough fights. Like Lucas Matisse. He wants to act like Lucas Matisse ain't shit. And this guy has been fighting tough opposition. He fought Devin Alexander. He fought Zab Judah. Dallas, that wasn't all that of an opponent for him. That was just a filler opponent for him. But he just beat Lamont Peterson. These are good fighters that he's been in there with. How many good fighters has Adrien Broner really been in there with, where you thought that there was a shot that he might lose? Because there are some fighters out there. I don't want anybody to say, well, he's just that good where we know he's going to win every time, because that's not true. There's fights out there that can be made where you're not 100% sure that he's going to win. He may have the edge, but there's fighters out there that he's not going to be able to just walk through, in my personal opinion. And I think that Brandon Rios is one of them. And I think Lucas Matisse is one of them. It's these guys that he's acting like he doesn't even know. He's trying to pretend like he's above them and shit. And to be honest with you, all of them have been in tougher fights than he's been in up to this point. I mean, his most notable win is against DeMarco. That's his most notable win up to date. He skipped over the 140-pound division. And now he wants to act like he doesn't know anybody there when we bring up these guys, when these guys are brought up to him in interviews and things like that. And he's just a corny personality. And that's what annoys me the most about him skipping over 140. Not the fact that he did that. I mean, that does annoy me, just the fact that he skipped over the division when there's so much talent there. But what annoys me the most about him doing that is that he's acting like the guys down there ain't shit. When these guys are fighting each other, there was a tournament going on there, and this guy just skipped over. He should be trying to fight the winner of the damn tournament instead of Amir Khan. He should be trying to put his name there. But he won't go. He wants to go up to 147, and he wants to fight what we all know as the weakest champion there. And I'm not saying Paulie Malignaggi is a bum, but he's well past his better days. We all know that. We all know that he's never really been that exciting of a fighter. But Paulie Malignaggi is a good boxer, good tactician. If he had power, he would be a hell of a lot more better than he's been. I think his lack of power is basically why people don't really like Paulie too much. I like Paulie Malignaggi, but at this particular point in time, I'm not going to feel any differently about Adrien Broner if he beats Paulie Malignaggi. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is a spectacular win at 147. I don't think anybody's really going to do that. I'm not going to be impressed. Let's see what he does against Devin Alexander. Let's see what he can do against a Timothy Bradley. Marquez would have been a good fight for him. I know he was calling Marquez out. I don't know why that wasn't put together. I think that would be a good fight for him. Can't wait too long for it because Marquez is up there in age. So if he wants to get credit, that should be something he should be trying to do soon. I don't know, maybe that's the path he's trying to take right now. But I would like to see what he can do even against Andre Berto, a guy who's um, had a few losses, a few setbacks, but who actually has speed and power and that can give him some sort of a challenge so that we can see how he does at 147 against somebody that has some power. I mean, Paulie Malignaggi is not going to be able to do shit to Adrien Broner, but outbox him if he got lucky. That's about the only shot that Paulie Malignaggi has. And we all know that. He knows it. And he knows that everybody else knows that shit. So I want to see what he does after this. And he's going to have to show me a lot more before he starts acting like Floyd Mayweather, like all these other fighters are beneath him, man. That shit annoys the fuck out of me. And another thing, he needs to take those fucking teeth out of his mouth, man. I mean, he looks ridiculous with that shit. Motherfuckers don't even wear grills like that anymore. It's 2013. I mean, I've seen motherfuckers, I used to know motherfuckers who wore grills and don't even wear that shit no more. This nigga sitting here with a whole mouth full of white gold. I don't know, it can't be platinum. It's probably white gold all in his mouth and shit. He's looking like a fucking clown and shit. To me, he just looks silly. He's just a clown, man. Doing stupid shit, ripping up his kids' money and flushing it down the toilet. That's another problem that I have. These athletes, a lot of these athletes and rappers, they get this money and then they just want to show off and throw it on bitches in the club and just throw all of their money away. But you look at all the richest men in the world, and I can guarantee you'll never catch any of them taking the 20s, the 5s, even the 1s out of their stack of money talking about it's not worthy of being there and flushing it down the toilet. That's your fucking kids' money. Doesn't this motherfucker have like 5 or 6 kids or some shit? Do you know $60? You know what $60 can do? You just started making money, man. A lot of these guys, they start making money and they act like they don't know what to do. They just have to waste it. It's just burning a hole in their pocket and they just have to waste it. I think it's ridiculous. Floyd Mayweather, I think the same thing with him sometimes, throwing all this money around in the club and shit. I think that shit is stupid, man. That's your kids' money you're throwing away, man. Have a good time. Nothing wrong with having a good time. Be happy, have fun. You're putting your life on the line. I understand that. But just wasting massive amounts of money like that when you have kids, to me, is a major fucking sin, in my opinion, man. Because that money is not guaranteed to last you forever. This is why the richest people of the world are able to pass their wealth on from generation to generation, because they don't do that type of stupid shit. They don't flush money down the toilet, rip it, burn it, throw it on bitches in the club. They don't do all that shit, man. Buying rims and gold grills and shit. That shit is stupid, man. I don't know. That's just my little rant on Adrien Broner. Like I said, I think he has skills. He has potential. I'm rooting for him. I want to see the best for him. I want to see him retire undefeated if he can do that. But I want to see him do it the right way and fight the right people and stop acting like guys aren't shit when you haven't even fought them yet. That's all I want to see. I want to see him do it the right way. Floyd Mayweather did have to build his way up to get to where he is now. He didn't just come in the sport and then started acting all snobby and above everybody. It took him some time. That's it. You guys leave your comments. I'm out.